Welcome back to episode 16. And last episode, North Korea and South Korea and Japan were all in a war. We're going to stay out of it, but we're going to place a few ships along the border to make sure nothing comes over to our side. Alright.
I think you're doing a good job. And you're hard.
So it looks like North Korea took over Japan cities. Alright, so we now have fiber optics, and we're going to keep that for ourselves. Okay, and North Korea is losing against South Korea so far. And let's look at the original. Wow. North Korea is getting decimated. But they started it, so oh well. No, we're not going to eliminate them. Alright, so want to increase taxes. Okay, so we do that on industrial pollution. And tax on large fortunes.
The mission was completed last evening, giving rise to a festive atmosphere in the control room. It must be said that the scientific team had every reason to be overjoyed at the complete success of their space program. The program director praised policymakers for having taken the initiative for this long-term scientific endeavor and for having secured sufficient means to guarantee its success. He called it a great success for our nation.
Alright, so that's pretty good. And let's see about tax on company turnover.
my fellow countrymen and women. On this solemn day, I want to express my pride and affection. Today, while celebrating the history and genius of our beautiful country, I wish to remember what unites us rather than what divides us in order to look into the future with confidence.
1 week before the beginning of the festival,
Good morning! I didn't come empty-handed. In fact, I wanted you to see in order to submit to you this economic contract which, as you will see, is profitable for both our countries.
Alright, so they want to sell us milk. No.
Sure. Dark and strong, please.
I'm not really going to buy too much this episode. So, let's take a look at... Let's see. Alright. What about our Secret Service? We're going to throw 3.6 billion into counterterrorism, or no, we're not going to do that.
I'm listening. How much?
Okay, so we're going to give them we're going to give them 10 million.
In the name of our cause, thank you. You are making a big contribution to establishing a new order in our country.
I'm going to give them
Fine automatic machines. A big thank you. Our magnificent partner. With all this, havoc and deadly blows can be delivered against the common enemy. Right, I think that...
Okay, so gave them more so they can continue on with their war against the rest of Ukraine. And at some point we're going to get involved, just not now. Let's see. So, let's take a look at our agriculture. So we need more milk and more beef. So I'm going to give 100 million to produce some more beef, and I'm going to raise this to 100 for milk production. Let's take a look at what else we need. So for sugar, we give about 50 million. Okay, our crime rate has gone down. So that's doing well. Let's see, do I want to... No, not just yet. So let's take a look at our military. So we want to bump that up to 55,000. And another 200 in the military.
The bill has been voted on and the law has been passed.
Okay, that's good. Let's take a look at our contracts. So our aircraft carrier. Okay, so we have another year for our aircraft carrier.
The bill has been voted on and the law has been passed. The bill has been voted on and the law has been passed.
Okay. So let's... So what's unemployment at? 4.1. We're going to take money from employment agency. And let's see. Just going to let that go into the economy. Not just yet. So let me see if my... Okay, my guys are ready. So we're going to create a new network and place them in South Korea. And we want to prepare for a cyber attack. And
Our agents had to abort.
okay. So Syria continues to get attacked. We're not getting involved. So what I do want to do is let's take a look at construction. Alright. So we're going to increase the workforce by, let me see. That's too expensive. Let's see about... Okay, so we'll hire more there. Okay, they're not bringing in much income tax, so... Employment is actually down. So...
You are giving our country a
Very large audience and the press are unanimous.
Okay, and also let's send our #1 spy into South Korea. Okay, that network hasn't been completed yet, so we'll wait a little bit. So we only have 150. So let's build up. Let's build up our missiles. So let's see how their war is going. Wow. So how many more troops does North Korea have? So they did have 1 million, and they're down to 555,000. Okay, we're not going to murder anyone. Let's try to keep this moderate by only rehabilitating 5,000 more homes.
Here is our growth forecast for the end of the year based on calculations that we made last month. This is an excellent figure. Our economy is flourishing, our production increases.
Okay, so one of the things I wanted to do was what? Alright, so it's not going to let me increase the minimum wage. I think this is, well, this is a bug, so I can't do anything with it.
It's awful. No, it's not a suicide. There's no doubt about that. But a terrible assassination. Yes, the journalists are already there.
Okay, so we still have a cash surplus of 742 billion. That's good. Let's take a look at our treasury reserve. Alright, so we're still building up, and we have 913 billion, so we're almost at the 1 trillion mark again.
Our network has been partially disbanded.
Alright. No, not yet. Let's see if we can send to South Korea yet. No, they still haven't gotten there yet.
Our sportsmen are ready.
Our infiltrated agent is on site. His first report confirms that
Okay, so they're finally there. Let's go to research now. So we want to increase our industry, so we're going to invest in that. So we're almost there with our negotiations. For
our scientific cell infiltrated an important research center. According to the information theory, we are therefore potentially able to obtain industrial secrets that, according to a quick projection, would attain the properly astounding index of 4 on the ladder of Angstrom. That is to say, at least a major discovery.
Okay, so Chile has an earthquake. Gonna give them about $10 million.
In a statement sent to the press, the terrorist organization has claimed responsibility for the operation.
Alright, we're still not gonna do anything with Germany. Let's give a little more aid to Mexico. So we're going to increase that to 61. Yeah, I can go for that. So now, if we can build up some type of relation with Cuba, that would be good also. And let's see.
We have strong suspicions that this organization is preparing to carry out an attack in the next few hours.
Okay. Let's give them about 5 more. Now let's... Okay, it's him. Let's just infiltrate.
Just a week to go before the opening ceremony. Our athletes are very impatient and are looking forward to the beginning of the competition.
We've proceeded to discreetly arrest this suspect who is now being placed in isolation. It seems we were right. This was the head of the organization as confirmed by evidence taken from his computer. It seems that he was preparing to coordinate a massive operation. We don't have all the details, but the police department's anti-terrorism unit has been placed on high alert. The Department of the Interior will inform you of events as they happen.
Alright. And I'm going to invest in a little more in our industry. So clothing. I'm going to give them about 25 million. And okay, so that's doing well. See about gold. Yeah, we have a lot of gold. Nickel. Yeah, we're doing really well with nickel. So household appliances, I want to increase that. So we're going to go with 75 million to boost that some more. And then let's take a look at our steel. Alright, that's doing good. Going to make our water supplies a complete 300. Okay, so Denmark is financing Yemen. Alright, so we're going to use that to our advantage. Okay, we got that. So we're going to keep that for ourselves. So they have 4 cruisers. Alright, so I think I'm going to come close to annexing Estonia.
It is with
Let's bring our special forces here as a setup, and we'll distribute them near the border as we need them. not going to get involved in that. Okay, that's good.
It's true that the blow cannot really be described as fatal. 2 arrests.
Following our investigation after the arrest of the head of the organization, we have uncovered the chain of command and have dismantled a large portion of the organization. A strong blow to terrorism.
Alright, so let's look at our finances here. Actually, let's look at our debt. So we have a small surplus. But everything's paid off. We don't owe anyone anything. Alright, so we're gonna build more. Let's just make that 25. And services, so let's see, how much would it cost for that? I'm gonna wait a little bit. But what I will do is I'll invest 50 million into that. Tourism. Tourism, we're going to invest 250 million. Let's look at our currency. Wow, our inflation is really going through the roof here. Let's see. So let's see about tax on the internet. Will that go through? Yeah, it will. And then audio visual tax. No, that's going to be a little too much. So let's take a look at this war. Is it still going on, or? Alright, so all sides took some heavy losses. Do they even have anything? Alright, so they're down to 513,000. Their growth is going up. Or not their growth, but their surplus is going up. Okay, so we couldn't do that. So let's see if we can stick it to South Korea. So we're going to do a cyber attack against South Korea.
Duly noted. Copy that. We are going to start the process. It's somewhat unfortunate that our network implanted in that country still needs a little time to prepare for our attack. However, it is still sending us decent intelligence that, properly used, can be highly destructive.
Alright, so I'm really surprised the United States hasn't jumped in this. So what's their economy? Alright, so they have a 3.65 deficit. Their growth is 1.53. So they're not in the greatest of shape, and let's see, but his approval rating is 100. Let's take a look at Japan again. Alright. Yeah, North Korea is really getting slaughtered in that war.
We have lived unforgettable emotions watching elite athletes extol the values of sport. I must admit, it is with some sadness and emotion that we close this Olympic page. And I wish those charged with organizing the upcoming games as much happiness as we have experienced ourselves.
Alright, so let's see how many commandos we have here. Alright, so everyone's watching North Korea, Japan, and South Korea. I think we're going to make our move now.
It is impossible to penetrate their systems, and their terminals are too well protected. We aren't sophisticated enough to be a threat to them. But don't worry, they're not able to trace it back to us, seeing as how they're not even aware of our feeble attempts.
Our agent number 1 succeeded in infiltrating the staff. Imponderables accepted, we are therefore able to release a Type E net informational profit. I mean, huge. Ahem.
Okay, so since we couldn't cyber attack them, we're going to change our plans to demolition of strategical objectives. let's see what their economy is. Alright, so their economy is doing well. So if we annex them, it shouldn't really...
The bill has been voted on and the law has been passed.
really shouldn't be too bad for us. So let's get our guys ready. I'm gonna send 5,000 troops to the border. I'm gonna send our cruisers there. Alright, so Iran's on the path to getting a nuclear weapon. We're not going to bother them. So we're not going to really get involved with Iran too much. Let's see what their economy is looking like. Whoa. Yeah, their growth is doing well, but they have almost a 10% deficit. Let's look at... Oh, I'm sorry, that was Iraq that I was on. They're not really doing too well. 33% unemployment, that's not good at all. Okay, so they're moving their military in response. So let's move our tanks to the border. And the one thing I keep forgetting about is our helicopters. So what's our workforce look like here? Hire 500 more employees.
The terrorist organization has nodded off. This is the least you can say.
Alright, so if we take Estonia, that's going to give us more access to Denmark and Germany. Sweden doesn't like us. And so if we take Estonia, then that'll give us clear access to their capital. So that might be a option for us. They only have 29,000.
I have to inform you that some unusual troop movements near our borders.
Yeah. Alright, so going to end this episode. And next episode, we are going to invade Estonia. And since their economy is doing well, we're going to look to annex them into Russia.
These important troops are positioned near our borders and represent a potential threat to our territorial integrity.
Our sportsmen are ready.
Alright, so that's the end of this episode, and thank you for all the support. If you like this video, feel free to hit the like and subscribe. Thanks again.